Hello everybody, how are you doing? It's Damon yet again, and this time it's not gonna be a rebooking video. It's gonna be wrestling related, but over the last week, over the last night, I was so thrilled when Sami Zayn won the WWE title, and I still am happy that he did. However, there's been kind of a backlash over the fact that CM Punk basically cashed in on out of the sky title shot, and people are complaining about CM Punk. The thing is, I too was not thrilled that CM Punk right away won the title, but understood the reason why. So I'm not against the reaction of being unthrilled with this. I had that same reaction when Christian lost after 2 days. That was actually worse, or Rey Mysterio lost against Cena. But I don't think that people had the same reaction when Kane lost the WWE title back to Stone Cold Steve Austin to just win at King of the Ring. And the reason why I'm making this video is when people are saying CM Punk did a CM Hogan brother. Yeah, because those are situations are so much similar. Yeah, because CM Punk basically the CM Punk. Hey, explain it to me. Did Sami Zayn or CM Punk, Sami Zayn throw Cody Rhodes some salt in his eyes, pinning him? Then did Sami Zayn challenge a CM Punk from the apron, basically saying, I'm basically gonna challenge you for the WWE title shot right now. Yeah, the champion is sure to challenge and lose in 21 seconds. Did we get that? Some of you really, really are looking to be very, very angry and always are angry in life. Let's be honest. Some of you really are angry over the fact that what CM Punk won the WWE title. Some of you are angry that CM Punk beat Sammy are the same people who are bitching that Sami Zayn did win the WWE title. Like, what the hell do you want? Like, sometimes the biggest eels in wrestling are fans, because, like Daniel Bryan say, are fickle. You're fickle. The bloodline are supposed to be eel, yet you cheer them as babyface. Trick Williams is supposed to be eel, yet you cheer him as babyface, and the booking is so middling. And WB is not helping the case. They should adapt. If basically Trick Williams supposed to be at the baby face, then why does he have Lil Yachty as his manager? Why does he act like a complete eel who's ducking every challenger? And every person who's asking for a challenger for the U.S. title are portrayed as either tweener like Carmelo Hayes or eels like Baron Corbin. Why is everybody that is not thrilled that Bloodline's coming back like Solo, Royce Keys, and especially LA Knight are basically seen as the eels or the paranoid person in this case when they were right. They're in the right. That you treat them like they were Bobby Heenan to Hulk Hogan before basically before the Bash at the Beach 30 years ago. Turning it's been 30 years of this, man. But I digress. Like, people are complaining about CM Punk. Yes, CM Punk can be an asshole, but him winning back the W title honestly made complete sense. And if you're looking for the bigger draw for SummerSlam, what a better draw than you have than CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, which could have been a main event of WrestleMania, but let's put it for summer. Why? Because it's their fault for trying to price out the fans. And that's the thing. The reason why there's a low turnout for SummerSlam isn't because of the main event, isn't because of the stars, it's because of raising the price like 200% over what they should be. If not, if they were a normal price, I bet you it would be sold out a long time ago. And right now, if I were WWE, I would really wonder how's going to be the turnout at WrestleMania 44 if you continue that pace. But Sami Zayn losing wasn't the problem. In fact, I feel like you could basically turn the storyline. Sami Zayn basically is going to a mental health break. His character going to there. And I feel like, you know what? He's not completely eel, but he's portrayed as an eelish person now because he's going to team with Gunter. And I don't think you should fully turn him heel. Maybe more unhinged, but not heel. Because if you go all the way as a heel, I feel like you take away some of the storyline possibilities in the future. What I mean by that is Obafemi right now is owed a King of the Ring World Heavyweight title shot. And I say good. Let him use it like many people use a world title. He can cash it at any event as long as he says in advance. So you can cash it in basically on the next pay-per-view, whichever pay-per-view. Could basically be, since it was supposed to be on pay-per-view again, at SummerSlam, you choose what pay-per-view you want to cash it in on, but it cannot be last minute. So you can have Obafemi cash it in on Reigns at WrestlePalooza and win the world title. Because I want him to have a decent reign. The reason for what I'm saying is I feel like CM Punk doesn't need a long title reign. You could have basically CM Punk's Cody, and Cody could actually turn heel, completely heel this time around. CM Punk could be the actual face, and you could have Sami Zayn being the wild card. And I say that because I want Sami Zayn to go in the Money in the Bank match. I want him to go to the Money in the Bank match and win. You could have you could have him win, or if it's not him, have LA Knight. Those are the two guys who I feel need to win. And the reason why I'm saying is whoever doesn't win the Money in the Bank match should be basically the guy who was taken out, basically the last person on the ladder that was taken out before the eventual winner wins. So if Sami Zayn wins, he takes out LA Knight. If LA Knight wins, it's because Sami Zayn's about to win, something distracts him. LA Knight takes him down, takes a briefcase. Why do I say that? Because like this, you have a straightforward shot. Basically, whoever doesn't win between Sami Zayn or LA Knight to win the Royal Rumble. And I'm shooting, honestly, for Sami Zayn to win next year's Royal Rumble. So you could have, or basically, if you have Obafemi, again, Obafemi eliminates last Sami Zayn. And then Sami Zayn can win the Elimination Chamber. You get what I'm going at? I want Obafemi. You can have Obafemi, who basically, Obafemi loses title because LA Knight cashed in on Obafemi. LA Knight can be either a heel or basically an opportunistic babyface. And you have Obafemi versus LA Knight at WrestleMania. You could have on the match, yeah, don't laugh. And you could have basically for the WWE title, you could have CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn won the Elimination Chamber. Cody Rhodes gets inserted there, and CM Punk's WWE champion. Or if Cody Rhodes the heel champion, he's a champion, and CM Punk gets added as being the former champion. Sami Zayn's the Elimination Chamber match winner. So you get this. Because to me, unless Kevin Owens reappears, those are basically the 5 or 6 people who should be in the world title scene next year. Roman Reigns has no business being there. Seth Rollins doesn't need to. I'm surprised he hasn't won the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It's complete, all the titles could win. But right now, I don't see the point for Seth Rollins. He did just about everything. You could have Roman Reigns versus The Rock next year as well. Like, there's so many other matches you could do. Because Rock, I don't think basically, if Moana is really going to be that flop, you could easily have that match at WrestleMania 43. And I don't see the point of Roman Reigns getting another another main event. You know? You can say about that streak, but it's not always a positive when you have 10 main events from one star. It says how dependent you are from that star. And truth be told, I think this should be the last world title reign of Reigns. What does he need to prove? What does it prove anything? That you can't move on past him? Nah. I want Sami Zayn to actually use that momentum, the impetus, basically, of his loss against CM Punk. I don't want him to touch the WWE title until next year's WrestleMania. You can easily have that storyline there. You don't even need to have him win the Rumble. You can have him win the Elimination Chamber. And Obafemi wins the Rumble. Because if it's LA Knight versus Obafemi, yeah. Or you could basically have Obafemi keeping the title from basically September just to WrestleMania, where he drops it to the Royal Rumble winner, which is LA Knight. So one way or another, I want Obafemi versus LA Knight at WrestleMania, and whoever is a challenger between those two, I want them to win. If it's Obafemi as a challenger, he wins. If it's LA Knight and Obafemi keeps his title from September to April, LA Knight wins. For the WWE title, one way or another, I want Sami Zayn to walk out of WrestleMania 43 as a champion. And after the match, you can have Kevin Owens come out, congratulate him, and tease as an attack him, but he doesn't do it on that day. You can actually attack him later on, but not right now. So that's not what I feel. And better yet, at that WrestleMania, you got Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton's. So already there, I would have booked you the four big match of WrestleMania, and that's not including the women's title matches. You could have basically Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair if you need to. You could have for Io Sky defend the World Heavyweight title against Stephanie Vecchia against the returning Asuka. You could have basically Rock versus Roman. You get Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, he's coming back. Cody versus Sammy versus CM Punk, and you have Oba versus LA Knight. Already there, you got your big matches. And Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus Jacob Fatu, and maybe Seth Rollins or somebody else. Already there, booked, easily. But people complaining about CM Punk beating Sami Zayn, like somehow, someway held him down with the same people. Don't forget, the same people who are mad, who are butthurt about it, were the same people who, dare I say, complained that Sami Zayn actually won the WWE title, complained he was a challenger for the WWE title, and complained that he beat Carmelo Hayes for the US title this year alone. So seriously, on that whole note, on that subject, all the audience is really angry about that. Get over yourself. And for WWE, this is where I'm going to say, oh, before I go for the other subject, I mean, people say, ooh, you only had a 9 days title reign. It reminds me of somebody else who had very short title reigns, a very bearded, maybe not the greatest shape ever, that was WWE champion who held it for at max 3 weeks. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I don't know. Mick Foley. Mick Foley's first title reign was 2 weeks. 2 weeks! Before he lost the Rumble. Then he won it. I think his longest reign ever was like from halftime E to maybe it was 3 weeks halftime heat to the Raw after St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And then he won it again at SummerSlam 99 for 1 day. I don't think that diminished Mick Foley's impact. It was a great, awesome moment, but he wasn't the guy. Sami Zayn, the same thing. Heck, if he won at WrestleMania, even if he held it for 2 more months, who cares? It doesn't affect negatively Sami Zayn. In fact, I'm happy that you won. You finally did it. You can cross off that from that list. But if he doesn't get it until like another time, that's okay. It's not not the same thing to me as Kofi Kingston not getting another WWE title reign again. Seriously. And for WWE, I really hated that they made it seem like Sami Zayn was whining because he won his 10 title shot. Wow, it was a while before this. Forgetting the own history of WWE, Batista kept getting title shot after title shot after title shot inexplicably, and he too, after a 6-7 title shot that he would get in a row, he finally won. But when nobody marketed Batista as a whiner in storyline, then why should Sami Zayn be marketed as a whiner in storyline? Anyway, all in all, my main point that you need to take from this is, A, fans are complaining about this, don't. Because Sami Zayn is in a better position with his storyline that he was before it. Okay? And actually, I think it will help his character grow and actually makes his character seem more justified. Bret Hart wasn't hurt when he lost the baby title 1 day afterward, after Final Four pay-per-view. I know it's Bret Hart, but still, he wasn't. Even though champions with a short amount of title reigns, they weren't hurt. As frustrating as it was, they weren't hurt. It was better they actually won the title than they didn't. And they actually won it, but not by interference, but for Foley. They won it on their own accord, on their own merits and fair and square. So it actually helps their credibility. As for WB's cake, marketing Sami Zayn as the whiner, I think it would work well if it was just in the States and nowhere else around the world. Because that's how I feel. It feels like Sami Zayn, in some ways, seems a whiner. You can see the point of view. He's a whiner. He always whines. But then you see his point of view. Hey, he's actually a bit justified. It's just that he talks in a whiny way. The way he acts is basically like a genuine heelish way. He's actually has a great point, but he acts as an eel. So all in all, I think it's a great storyline. I don't see why CM Punk being compared to Hogan somehow, somewhere. My God, the mental gymnastics that people are doing to justify their anger. To quote CM Punk, go out, touch grass, have a life. If you're that angry about this. Have a clue, have a life, get lost in the forest. Whatever. I'm out. And again, if you're that mad, about the Sami Zayn thing, or if you call it CM Punk, CM Hogan in my comments, or try to insult basic quality of camera, go eat grass. Actually, go touch grass and go get a life.